Good morning, evening, twilight, and even enchanted midnight to all of my sparkly sweethearts, royal rebels, and tiara wearing dreamers. Welcome to the very first episode of Princess Lessons, the podcast where we explore what it means to live life like royalty. Not in a castle, though we wouldn't mind that very much, but in the everyday choices that we make, the grace we show, and the power that we hold deep in our hearts. Here we talk about life advice with a glittery, soft hearted, tiara topped twist. We explore how to live kindly, love boldly, and reign over our personal kingdoms with elegance, empathy, and maybe just a hint of glitter. I'm your host, Princess Pink, because if there's one thing that I believe in, it's turning the world the colour of joy. Whether you are the Cinderella cleaning up after everyone, a Belle that would rather be reading, or a Merida who simply refuses to be tamed, you, my darling, belong right here with us. Now, let's talk about what this podcast is all about, why it exists, and what the princess lifestyle truly means to us. So pour a cup of your royal tea, settle into your throne, and let's begin our story. Right, let's get one thing out of the enchanted mirror early. Being a princess is not about being spoiled, bossy, or stuck up. No, ma'am. No, sir. No fairy godparent. We're coming out swinging in this first section. People love to throw shade like they're an evil queen. Oh, she's such a princess, they say, as if wanting beauty, kindness, and a little bit of sparkle in my life just makes you shallow. But have these people really thought? Have they thought about other princesses? Have they even met Tiana? That girl worked double shifts. She wore a tiara in the end. A true princess isn't someone waiting in a tower. She's someone building that tower, decorating it, and inviting others in for tea and tiny cakes. So when people try to dull your sparkle, remind them you're not being bossy, you're leading. You're not snobby, you just have standards. And if you love bows, books, and boundaries, welcome to the royal court, Your Highness. Right. Well, let's talk a little bit about the princess lifestyle, our royal code of conduct. Here's the tea. Earl Grey, probably. Being a princess isn't about the crowns or the ball gowns. It is about living with strong values, compassion, and the courage to keep going even when the story takes a turn and starts getting a little bit scary. Let me break down the 4 royal decrees of princess living. Number 1, know your values like they are your royal family tree. Think of this like Belle's book collection. Personal values you kind of carry with you. They help you to navigate life. These values aren't handed down to you and they aren't from other people's expectations. They should be from you. You choose them. You grow with them and you polish them until they shine. Even Rapunzel had to escape from the tower to find out who she was. And sometimes we have to do that too. Sometimes we have to venture out into a place that's not so comfortable to find the morals and values that appeal to us. Morals and values evolve, and that's okay. Even royalty rewrites the rules as times change. Rule 2, rule with love like a gentle queen. Being a princess isn't a being about commanding all the time. It's about caring. Lead with kindness, speak with intention, and create a kingdom where everyone feels like they belong. If you have a think about other princesses, once they learn to lead with love instead of fear or power, the whole kingdom kind of blossoms, and that's the people around you really benefiting from your love, but also them benefiting you. We'll come to that in a bit. Number 3, shine through the storms. Confidence, it's not pretending you're perfect, unlike a lot of people suggest. It's more about just knowing your worth. Even when you're covered in soot like Cinderella, or your hair's a mess, or everything's just going wrong today, you are still royalty. Even when that crown's a little crooked, you are still royalty. If it helps, you can be that diamond that forms under pressure. And if that pressure includes, I don't know, tears, bubble baths, crying into a pillow whilst you're wrapped up in a pink blanket, well, that's just part of your royal glow up. Number 4, take counsel like the princesses of old. Snow White had 7 advisors. Mulan had a lucky cricket and a dragon. You do not have to go anything alone. Seek advice. When stuff goes wrong, sometimes you need to talk to your advisors. Keep your kingdom in balance by listening to your inner circle. Surround yourself with people who want to see you thrive, want to see you do well, and not really compete for your crown because they have their own. Now, I guess from all of these values, I've taken the time to really think about them over the years, really. And I wanted to share with you a little bit about what started this, what came about originally to make me want to share this with you. Every heroine has a chapter or a part or an aria or a song that she just barely made it through. Mine came about 6 years ago when I lost just about everything. My dreams, my love, my job, my home, even my confidence packed its little bag and left the castle. Off she go. But through all of that rubble, I found one thing: the joy of giving advice and being someone's light. I remembered how much I loved princesses as a child, how their stories really helped. They made me feel strong, feel hopeful for the future, and to be seen. And I just thought, well, why not? Why not live like that? Why not just be like that? Hmm? That's where it all came from. I built myself a kingdom from scratch. And this one, it was full of softness, of strength, and a little bit of sequins. I glowed up. And now my throne is made of these lessons that I have learned, all this healing that I've done, and this unshakable truth belief that everyone can be royal if they want to. And that includes you. So, with all this in mind, let's break down that very beginning worry. with our values in mind. So let's go from bossy to bold and the reputation that you hold. Let me spill some royalty. I have been called bossy ever since I was little, like very, very little, very, very small. Little Princess Pink, you can imagine her right now, standing on the playground. And she'd look up at everybody. There was like a slide, some swings, a little roundabout. And what was I doing? Directing the slides like a safety marshal in a cute little tutu and some wings. It was definitely something that I was so passionate about. I wanted everyone to feel safe. Now, was I being controlling? I mean, not really. Not really. I was trying to protect the realm around me, the people that I was enjoying the playground with, and make sure that everyone was safe. And I think that's where the real truth lies. Being bossy often just means you know what needs to be done. And you must care about it enough to say it with conviction. There is an opinion that likes to label this idea as too much and often tries to put you back into a box to hide away this muchness, especially if you're feminine. But here is the secret. Here's the big secret. Reframe the whole thing. Look at it from a different angle. Bossy? No, 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 no. Bossy becomes bold. You hear it all the time in commerce. You hear it all the time in company values. We want to be bold. Well, that means you got to be bossy. You got to know what you're saying, know what you're doing. And loud? I was often loud. I'm still very loud. But this becomes empowered. Your strong voice is a royal gift. You should never be asked to silence it to fit someone else's comfort zone or expectations. So, if we're not bossy then probably the next thing that they would go to is, well, you're pretty snobbish then. Ah, yes. The snobby princess stereotype. We've been there, enchanted that. I get this one a lot, especially because of my voice. It's a mix of transatlantic flair and some Shakespearean realness. I it's just how I sound. But some people do assume that it means that I look down on them, which is of course not true. And very not princessy of me at all if it was. Doesn't make too much sense. So what helps with this? When people confront you with this, oh, well, you're just being snobby. Well, in my view, it's three things: kindness, curiosity, and connection. Every princess knows that it's your actions, not your accent or any other personal value, that shows your character. It's what you do. The real magic lies in how you treat people. So the next time that someone mistakes your confidence or charm or riz for snobbery, let them see your heart. Let them see what they're missing here. A warm smile, a genuine compliment. These are all things that are so much stronger than any misconceptions that others may have about you. And you'll see this when you start to ask questions and delve into someone else's life. They're more willing to connect with you and will start seeing you on the same level as them. Everyone has their own individual type of royalty going on. It just might take you some time to see yours. So, we're doing this podcast. What's next? What can you expect next? We've talked values, we've talked myths, and we've talked about my own transformation from tear-stained peasant to a sparkly Princess Pink. So let's talk about what's next for us. Our future episodes? Interesting. Our future episodes will dive into some royal routines for your confidence, some princess sleepovers. Yes, that does include some self-care tips. I know people ask often about those. Navigating heartbreak with fairy tale finesse. The enchanting balance of ambition and rest. I know we're going to cover some work-life balance. I know it's hard for the princesses out there. And maybe even some guests. That's right, we're going to get some guests from the royal court with their stories and wisdom. You'll hear from real life royalty in my eyes, some friends, creators, dreamers. They live their truths completely unapologetically. And that's what I love about them. And this is exactly where you come in. So this is your royal invitation. Send me your tales. Have you got a dilemma, a situation going on, a question for us? Maybe you want to talk about a moment where your sparkle dimmed for a second, but you got it back. We want to hear your stories. Pop your stories into the comments or send them over to me on Blue Sky. There'll be a link in one of the descriptions somewhere to my Blue Sky so you can check it out. I'll be answering some in my future episodes with my guests, so you'll get their fantastic, knowledgeable insight, which is awesome. It's going to be so awesome. I'm very excited. You could probably hear I'm very excited. So we're going to build this beautiful kingdom podcast together. I love that. So, my darling sweethearts, as we close this storybook on our very first chapter, there's a few things to remember. Every sunrise paints the sky with boldness, and it shines just like you do. Every struggle that you faced is a part of your royal training, and every crown is different, but all crowns are worthy. Thank you so much for joining me today for the beginning of Princess Lessons, your magical little podcast corner for kindness, confidence, and a little bit of royal silliness. We'll be releasing episodes every 2 weeks, so you'll never be too far from your next royal decree. Until next time, keep your head high, your heart soft, and your sparkle untamed. With love and royal giggles, Princess Pink.